Oh, please don't do this. Come on. You can do it. Hello. Okay, there we go. Hello. Goodness. Let's calibrate real quick. Okay, that's much better. Okay, there we go. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, stop it. Oh, what are you doing? Hi, welcome in. Close, dang it. There we go. All right, let's see if I can't do this. Let's open this. I hope this is capturing my voice. Okay, that says it was sent. What is that? Hey, stop it. Why are you like this? There we go. Hi, welcome in. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay, wonderful. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. How are you doing today, guys? I'm so glad that you guys can hear me, actually. I was so worried. You won 2 tournaments. My goodness. Well done. I'm glad you're doing all right. Have you guys been hydrating today? Well, how about that? How about what? I need to, like, move my character slightly down. You're pretty tired after all that running around, I'll bet. Just fix that. There we go. I can imagine that I'm very proud of you. Or should I say I'm very proud of you? Well, how about what? Hey, hi. Welcome in, Checka boy. Hello. How are you doing today? And Darkstone, make sure you hydrate after all that running around. Wouldn't want you to dehydrate. You left your water at the house. Oh no. Just a quick hello as on lunch. Yeah, I kind of figured. You were in here on a day that you're working. Well, hello to you too. Oh, I'm sad that you left your water at the house, but hopefully you can get some water soon, right? The image I sent really made you laugh. That's good. I'm glad. It totally represents everything about us, right? You just chillaxing me for no reason? No. It's not your fault. Your brain is not functioning properly this morning. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that so hard right now. I need to make more cat puns. Literally. I am a cat right now. Right meow. No, it is super true though. It's super true. Do. Why? I have no idea why everything is... Well, the good thing is that I got ReTube Studio and Streamlabs to work together. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. Please send me your hopes and prayers. You were up at 5:30. Ew. Ew, 5:30. No, you're lying. That time does not exist. That time doesn't exist. I was like just going down for a nap at like 5:30 this morning. Goodness. No, but I'm super happy because I got Streamlabs and VTube Studio to work together. Because I had to go so far as to uninstall both of them and then reinstall them. My friggin' setup is so terrible. But then again, I always bitch about that. I always bitch about cat. Tell me about it. Your dad woke you up because you didn't wake up to your alarm. What was your alarm set to if you woke up at 5:30? I'm like literally curious. You don't know. But weren't you the one that said it? You know what? I'm not gonna think about it anymore because waking up at 5:30 makes me want to die inside. You know, brains not working like they should. You found a game that I might enjoy streaming? Ooh. What's that? Tell me meow. Tell me meow. I wanna know. Got the Mari? I've heard of it. I just don't know what it's on. If it's on Xbox, then I'm all for it. If it's on something else, I don't know about that. No, but I've heard of it. I will definitely be getting to like new games after Moonlighter and Coffee Talk, because I did not spend my entire wrist. Otherwise, it's a PlayStation thing. It's on Steam. Yeah. I'm probably gonna have to wait for a very long time, unless I can get it on PlayStation. Well, I haven't figured out. You're gonna try and wake up at 7? What, like 7 p.m. or 7 a.m.? What are we talking about? I haven't figured out how to stream on PlayStation yet. I don't specifically own a PlayStation myself. We'll see. We'll have to see in the future. But I did not in the morning. Ew. 7 in the morning. Ew. No, but that's good. It's good that you're trying to get a more normal sleep schedule. I'm proud of you. You're stronger than me. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I didn't spend like my entire wrist's integrity to write down notes for Moonlighter and Coffee Talk to just move on to another game. So I'll have to look into it for sure. Like, I've heard of it. I've heard of Katamari Damacy. If I can figure it out, I would totally play like Zika, the fruit merging game that every streamer is raging at right now. I would totally play that. But it's on my Switch, and I can't do anything from my Switch, unfortunately. You wake up at different times every day? Same. It all depends on when I go to sleep. It literally all depends on when I go to sleep. Like, I woke up at 11 in the morning today. Just because I went to bed so late. I need to put those notes to good use. You put far too much effort not to. Exactly. Like, Jack understands because I was able to show him all the notes that I wrote on Moonlighter and Coffee Talk. So he understands the effort that I put into that. You guys have no idea, though. I wrote so many notes. I was in pain in my shoulder for like 2 days after that. Like, I'm definitely not complaining because the notes are going to help. The notes are going to help me out. Get it? Me out. Because I'm a cat. Because I still can't put my model on my phone. I still have yet to figure that out, and I don't think I ever will. I need a desktop for that. Hey, 5 viewers. Nice. Welcome in, welcome in. Y'all better be hydrating. You have a mug that says, "Don't stress me out." Oh my gosh, I need it. I need it this second. I need to put coffee in it. That'll be one of my coffee mugs. No, seriously. I feel like that would be my coffee mug when I'm streaming. Like, and I'll just have it facing out towards people coming in and out of the room. Like, don't stress me out. I'm busy. Oh my goodness. Oh, I know, it's so fun. Okay. Okay. I'm going to do this real quick. Doing cat things. Yeah, literally. I do cat. Oh, speaking of cats, so Loki, my little friggin' 9-month-old ball of chaos, did something so friggin' adorable this morning. It was this morning when I was sleeping. He did something so adorable. So he's known in this house as being like very uncomfy around humans. Like he bites and he scratches and he doesn't like being held or picked up or anything. But when I was watching some YouTube before I went to bed. Like I wanted to take a nap. And he comes up and he walks over me, and I am in my, I have my, Nezuko blanket. For those of you who know, for those of you who don't know, I'm obsessed with Nezuko. I love Nezuko. And, but he did something super adorable. He walked over me, and he positioned himself, right on top of the curve of my left arm. And he just laid down on top of the blanket and he cuddled and slept with me for 2 hours. By YouTube, do you mean a British vampire that... What? All the... Huh? What about paintings? Huh? Oh. What? I'm so confused right now. Wait, when were we talking about Olive Garden? In my stream? What? Wait, huh? But yes, Loki did the most adorable thing. And speaking of adorable things, if he's still here, Brave will know what I'm talking about. But I just got an early Christmas present for my dog, Senu. And it's this little blue sweater with sparkly bits on it. And she is so freaking cute. I want to die every time I see it because it's just so cute. No. No. You expect a photo? I have several. I will send photos of Senu to anybody that wants it. Because me and my husband got really... got some really pretty pictures of her at it was at a Cabela's, I believe. Snooky, your 2-month-old kitten is a handful. Who talks your 2 other cats? Yep, that sounds like Loki. Yeah, I'll take it. I have 4, but I could totally take on another one, right? Excellent. Yeah, I'll definitely send you pictures of her. Oh, goodness. He no, I don't. I need all of them. I need all of the cats. But yeah, Loki is, I think, yeah, he's 9 months old at this point, and he is way bigger than the other cats. But he attacks everybody, and he wants food all the time. He literally has fat brain. Your lunch is over. Aw, talk to you later, sweetheart. Make sure you keep hydrating, okay? But have a good day, okay? I'll see you later. Alright. Well, you can catch the rest of it later as well. So I'm not too worried, but I'll miss you. I'll miss you. No, I don't. I don't have enough cats. I can hold like I can totally have like 1 or 2 more, right? Yeah, like a good, actually 3 more. Yeah, I'll have a nice even 7 cats. No, I don't. I don't have enough kitties. No, I need like another dog. Totally. Oh God, yes, you do. I don't know about yet. I think I don't have enough cats. I want all of them. All of the cats belong to me. Meow. Alright, I am going to start because I promised that this was going to be a Reddit reading, and I've just spent like 21 minutes doing nothing except talking. You're buying a snake? Ooh, what kind? What kind? And I will need pictures of the baby. I'm gonna need pictures of that noodle. A ball python, yes! Oh my gosh. I love snakes. They're so cute. They got little pupper faces. I don't know why anybody can be scared of them, but I understand. Starbucks, go away, please. You weirdo. I'm sorry about the notifications. They are supposed to be off, but your girlfriend has 2 giant ones. Ooh, lovely. We have a... Oh, I can't remember what he is. We have a boa, as far as I know. Can't remember what kind. He's cute though. He's got the cutest little pupper face. He's just like, food? Why food? Like when he peeks his head out of his hide, it's just the cutest thing because it's like, ah, boopable snoot. Alright. Are you guys ready for me to read awful Reddit stories about ReTale? Yes, that's generally what snakes eat. They eat rats and mice. I have dropped down to 2. Okay. Yum. Yawned. Okay, I know, Twitch. I know. I'm on my dashboard. Thank you. These rats look like they came from New York. That's how fat they are. Yeah, our boa eats the smaller ones, but I always feel so bad, but they're cute. Alright. Let us begin. Excuse me. Work, please. Work. Dang it. Oh my gosh, thank you. Good Lord. Alright, so today's Reddit reading selection is from the subreddit Tales from ReTale. So it's definitely, you love your danger bundles. I love them too. They're so cute. So this is going to be really fun because I've worked in retail before, and so I feel like this subreddit specifically speaks to me. And I hope you guys that have worked in retail can definitely understand this as well. All right, let's see. So I am on the top of this week. And the first Reddit story is from a user called short_lettuce2144, titled Customer Tried to Return Display Boxes. At my store, we have a few products that are locked up in a cabinet or in our office that are either high value or a type of medication. One of the ways to buy them is to bring up the display boxes of the product, and the cashier will grab the real one. A customer came in with 4 of the display boxes, asking to return them. No receipt, and used a chime card, she says. I stood there confused for a minute as I'm looking at the display boxes, thinking how dumb she is that she thinks these are real when there's nothing to scan on them, and they all say display only. Oh my gosh. I explained to her that these are display only. She did not buy these, as there's no way to scan them without the real product, and that I was going to keep them. Immediately, she throws a fit that I need to return them for her because she clearly bought them. I say no again. Then she steps aside and calls 911. Tells me that the police are coming because I didn't give her her money. Clearly, cops never showed up. Dumb lady. No, seriously. That is so stupid. And I'm reading some of the comments, and one of them's like, it only happened to me a few times in my retail life, but I picked up the desk phone and handed it to the customer every time. No one ever dialed. Another comment says, I once had a guy take a mug off the shelf that was less than 10 feet away from the counter and within direct line of sight, and told me he wanted to return it. I knew he wanted cash for it, so I told him store credit only. He sighed and put it back and left. And somebody replied to that saying, ha ha, you should have said, okay then, return it to the shelf you just took it off of. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. People will literally try literally anything. Like, that never happened to me. I never worked in a retail place that did something like that. But, oh my gosh. Okay, I need to... Like, I cannot believe people are like this sometimes. Like, really? You're gonna just do that? Do. Okay. This next Reddit story is titled, Sure, You Can Sue Us. And it is by a user called Amdiaman. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Don't quote me. I don't know. Alright. I used to sell cars. Long story short, we had a customer come in. He wanted a car, and he had horrible credit with repos on it. We got him an offer for a lot less than he wanted. Then he notices something. His credit score on his app on his phone says he's at 521, but his credit score on our paperwork is showing 491. Ladies and gentlemen, if you understand credit score, you know the bureaus have different types of scores and so forth, yeah? Also, let's be honest, 521 is really bad, and 491 is really kind of the same. I try to explain this, and he's saying I need to call back every bank and tell him his credit ain't no 491, it's really 521. It's kind of silly at this point, and I said, Sir, honestly, even if this said 521, you'd have still been declined. You don't make enough, you have too much debt, and you have repos on your credit. Like, bro, all those are facts for a reason. And he starts threatening to sue us. Manager gets involved, basically explains what I did, that he's looking at different credit scores, and we tried to explain that there are different scores for different purposes and different scoring models, and yeah. Anyway, long story short, none of it matters. He's not getting approved. Please leave. He tells us he's going to sue us, and my manager pulled out a business card and said, This is the business card for the law firm that represents us. Lisa is their secretary. She's real nice, and she'll get an attorney assigned to your lawsuit. But if you do that, I can't help you anymore. We gotta wait for the lawyers and judges to decide what's going to happen. The customer grabbed the business card and left. That was the last we ever heard of that customer. Jeez. People, honestly. Is there a... Okay, that's confusing. Oh my goodness. That's insane. Like, yeah, sure. Sue us. Go ahead. See what happens. It's like, it's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. Okay. Give me 1 second while I find the next one. Oh my gosh, can you not? I wish I wouldn't do this. Like, it keeps resetting. Not past day. Past week, please. Hello. Thank you. Open. My goodness. Alright. So this next Reddit story comes from a user called Theo_ops. And it's titled, But Nobody Told Me. Oh, this one is... this one's fun. Or it should be fun, I hope. Alright. Customer walks into our store and complains that the phone he bought isn't working as it should. Our policy is 7-day exchange or refund, then 6 months repair warranty, and we'll swap or refund it if it can't be repaired or it's too costly to repair. Phone was purchased in August, almost 4 months ago. Manager: Sir, we'll have to send the item to our technical department for assessment as the 7-day window has passed. Customer: But the phone worked for only 2 days. Manager: Why didn't you bring it in earlier then? Customer, I haven't had a day off since then. Manager, we trade 7 days a week. Customer, yes, I work 7 days a week. Manager, why didn't you call us? Our landline number is clearly printed at the top of your till slip. For those of you outside of, for my American people, a till is a, cash receipt. It basically receipt is what he's talking about. Customer, but nobody told me I could call. Manager stood her ground, and the customer stormed out in a huff with his broken phone. Oh, but there's a question that I have about that. Is like, why didn't you call us? Because the phone doesn't fucking work. That's why. But still, like he should have come in earlier. Although that refund policy window is really short, like 7 days. I know most have like 15, 30 days when it's like high priority item, kind of like that. I don't know. I saw similar comments to that post. Oh, goodness. All right. This one should be a good one. It's actually kind of long. Let's hope I don't stumble over my words too much, right? So this one is from a user called Alexander. Spelled really weird, but that's okay. Titled, How I Got the PA System Fixed. And keep in mind, this one's a long one, so sit back, relax, grab a drink, get some food, a snack, whatever you need. I once worked at a pharmacy chain. To give some idea of how long ago this was, digital photography was in its infancy. A 6 megapixel photo was state of the art, and 1 hour photo processing was in its heyday. I worked in the photo department, which doubled as the customer service and/or the complaint department. Managers had to do all refunds since it required a key. The problem was that most managers didn't enjoy having to put up with a typical customer who wanted refunds and would often try to put it off if there was anybody else, customer or otherwise, they could possibly help. I owe that job a certain debt of gratitude. It taught me a lot about how to deflect blame from myself to people higher up the chain of command, where it usually belonged. Oh, I wish. One day, the PA system decided that it was being too quiet when employees used it to page. And suddenly, any announcement we made was loud enough to be heard at the fast food drive-thru next door. I'm guessing a software update of some sort went sideways. I managed to figure out within a day or so that holding the phone backward, but otherwise speaking normally when paging, would result in a PA producing a more reasonable volume, as opposed to trying to find the right distance and the vocal volume worked. I shared this with my coworkers, and it became the new norm for paging announcements. Thus began my reign of terror over the management team. Nothing had changed about their lack of enthusiasm in handling refunds, but when they tried to pretend I didn't exist, I would pull out my trump card. Do I need to turn this phone around and page it because I'll do it? It was usually enough to convince them to stop ignoring the angry Karen, even though they weren't called Karens back then, and quickly finish up with whatever they were doing. One particular manager decided he was going to call my bluff one day. He finished up with a customer he was working with and came by to let me know he was going on break, having waited for the refund customer to be about 20 feet away looking at something. I waited for the door to the employee area to close, then went over to the customer. Karen through and through. And I honestly don't really blame the manager for not wanting to deal with her. I suggested she might want to plug her ears. Then I followed through on my threat. Mr. Manager, to photo for a refund. The entire store went dead silent for a good 4 or 5 seconds. Even the music was quiet for a moment while the software parsed what I had just done to the PA. The manager came out, did the refund, gave me the dirtiest look you can imagine, and went back to take his break. Fast forward a few weeks and the PA still hasn't been fixed. Other managers, having heard that I was, in fact, not afraid to follow through on my threats of excessive volume, practically materialized from the ether, sometimes several at once, as soon as I made the page that I needed one of them to help a customer. The one I actually did abuse the eardrums of, on the other hand, has not learned his lesson, and is again taking his time and coming to my counter to issue a refund. One of my regulars, not the same customer. That would have been too poetic. He lazily strolls right past my counter towards the stockroom, saying he'll be back in a few. I again offer the threat of turning the phone around, and he again says he'll be right back while maintaining his nonchalant pace. What I didn't realize was that the district manager was at the store at the time. He overheard me saying that, and I probably turned pale when I saw him come around an aisle and head my way. "What did you say?" he asked, but he sounded more confused or curious than upset. "The PA only works, right, if you hold the phone backward and talk into the back of the mouthpiece when you page," I explained. "They hear us next door if we page holding the phone normally. I've got a customer waiting for a refund." I gestured towards the aforementioned customer. "It's all good. I can wait a few," the customer said, waving off the concern. The district manager wasn't having it. "Customers come first, and he's checking on something I asked him about. Call for the refund and don't hold the phone backward," was his order. Cue malicious compliance. I picked up the phone. "You may want to plug your ears," I said. The customer thought I was joking, but did so anyway. The district manager did not. "Mr. Manager, to photo for a refund," I paged. Again, silence. The manager came out of the stockroom, ready to lay into me about having abused the PA and his eardrums again, but held his tongue when he saw the district manager scowling in his direction. He did the refund. The district manager apologized for the wait while still glaring daggers at the manager and said he wanted to talk to him in the stockroom after the customer had left. I was amused to note that the manager didn't dawdle when heading for the stockroom this time, walking as fast as he could without actually running. District manager took a couple of steps to follow, but paused. "How long has the PA been doing that?" he asked me. "About a month or so, I think." "I saw the fixed ticket for it a ways back, but didn't realize it was this bad. I'll escalate it," he said, and followed the manager to the stockroom. The PA system was replaced before the end of the week. So was the manager. And thus ended my reign of terror over the managers, though it made enough of an impact that they decided not to ignore refund pages after that, just in case I or another photo clerk decided to find more horrifying ways of ensuring their compliance. Okay, it was probably the reaming by the district manager that did that, but a lowly cashier can dream. Oh my gosh. Oh, this belongs in like Pro Revenge or something. I'll take actions of annoying coworker for 500, Alex. Literally. Oh my gosh, that is the best. Oh my goodness. That is probably one of the best stories I've ever heard. Like, literally. It's like, oh, you don't want to do your job? Oh no. Oh, you poor thing. Might as well make you do your job. Oh my gosh, and that's, it's unfortunate, but managers are kind of like that in a lot of places. I've definitely worked with managers that do not do their jobs, and I've heard stories from people who had managers that never did their jobs correctly, or at all, and it was up to, you know, the people under them to do their job. That is literally the worst. Oh my gosh. I wish I had the balls to have done that in the past. Because I had this one manager when I was working at a garment cleaning service. You know, a dry cleaners, right? And this was a few years back. I can't actually remember when. But, you know, I was hired as the cashier / sorter. You know, I would take people's clothes, you know, in the bins, well, in bags. I would put them in bins, and then I would take those bins when there were no other customers, and I would sort and tag them into separate bins to be cleaned the next day. And it was so fucking stressful. Because she was always on about not being fast enough to tag the garments. But it didn't seem like too big of a problem at the time. But this one part, oh my gosh. So I was the only employee in the store. It was just me and her. And it was kind of slow at the time. I was busy taking out the trash or something, or, you know, putting finished clothes in the finished clothes bins. And she's like, I'm gonna go, and I'm going to go pick up my kids from school. And I was like, okay. And previously she was like it was instilled into me that the people, you know, at the cash register are the most important. Always pay attention to them. And so a customer comes in, I check them out, I take their bags, and I'm putting that in the bin. I turn around and there's yet another customer. So I do that. And so many people just all of a sudden were coming in back to back to back. I had 5, 6, 7 people in line. I was, keep in mind, the only customer in the store. I started running out of bins at this point, and I could not get to tagging them, sorting them, anything. And she was gone for like 2 hours. She comes back, and her like 5 kids pile out of the fucking car. And she walks in and she's like, why didn't you sort any clothes? Why are these not tagged? What is this mess? It's like, excuse me? Do you see how many fucking clothes there are? And she's like, well, you should have called me. I'm like, bitch, I didn't actually say this. I just explained that I literally didn't have time to sit down, drink water, go to the bathroom for the last 2 hours. I literally did not have time to call you. And what were you supposed to do? that was probably the worst job I've ever had. And I absolutely hated it. I hated it so bad. I was so glad that I actually got like a stomach bug. Like I got a terrible like stomach flu at like the end of December. And I was gone for like a week. Like over a week. I did not come in, and eventually she called and was like, well, you're fired. You can come pick up your last paycheck. And at that point, I was like still sick. So I came in, I'm like, whatever, fuck you. A year later, she calls, because we still had the house phone. And that was the one that was on my application, right? Well, she calls the house phone. And I'm not at home. I'm at my job. I was working at Einstein's at the time. Well, she calls and she asks my husband when I'm coming in. Like, what? This woman literally, I think, had her head so firmly up her ass. And I'm sorry I'm cussing so much. It's just... it made me so angry. She expected me to call her when I have like 12 customers I have to take care of, and then I have to take their bags of clothes and put them in bins. Like, I had no time. And these people were coming in with huge trash bags just full of clothes. All of them. It's like the universe knew that I was alone, and everybody and their mom had to do their entire house and their neighbor's house full of clothes. And it like, people were bringing in comforters, for crying out loud. Like, I had no idea what to do. But it was ridiculous. So, yeah, I wish I had the balls to have done something similar to my manager. Like, do your fucking job. Just do your job. That's all I ask. Do not fucking pick up your kids. You have a husband. Get your husband to pick up your kids. Anyways, tangent complete. Some managers can be literally the worst people to work with. That's the moral of that story. It just reminded me of my manager from back then. Alright. This next Reddit post is by Gorguff62, titled, Arguing as a Universal Language. At the grocery store I work at, our policy is to have an ID for all purchases of cigarettes. We can refuse the sale if their ID isn't valid. On this day, I am up at the desk when two guys come up to the desk, speaking another language. For the sake of the story, since I'm not entirely sure what language it is, I'm saying Russian. One of them talks into their phone and then hands it over to me. On the phone is Google Translate from Russian to English asking me for cigarettes. At this point, it's clear to me these guys can't actually carry out a conversation with me without Google Translate. I talk back into the phone asking what kind of cigarettes they want. The guy says back into Google Translate that he wants tall cigarettes. I ask him what kind of tall cigarettes he wants. What followed was a few moments of non-translated pointing and yelling while I'm trying to figure out what kind they want. Eventually, I managed to figure out what kind of cigarettes they want. I scan them on the register and ask for their ID. Either they didn't hear me, or they didn't understand me because they pulled out their credit card. I ask them again for their ID. This time they understand me and pull out their driver's license. There's just one problem. Other than the words driver's license, the entire thing is in Russian. Unsurprisingly, being able to read Russian is not part of my job description. Since I can't read it, I can't take it. I tell them I can't take it, to which the guy hands over his phone again, and I have to again speak to the phone to tell him I can't take it. By this point, I'm thinking this whole transaction is completely absurd. Both of them are clearly getting annoyed by the fact I'm not selling to them without ID. The one guy offers his picture of his passport, but I tell him no because I need the physical ID. The guy yells something in Russian and then speaks to the phone again. This time he's telling me that he's 34 and I should just give it to them. Now I'm done trying to do the whole thing via Translate, and I just shake my head no. The two give up and walk out, leaving me to tell my coworkers the story. They all found it hilarious. I don't know. I feel like at that point you could technically figure out what, like, the date of birth is, but I wasn't there, so I wouldn't know. Okay, so this next Reddit story might be a little confusing, because it's full of UK slang that I probably won't understand, but thankfully they give a description for this. So this Reddit story is by Quoth666, and the title is The Pillock Pensioner Pinching Penguins. How's that for a tongue twister? And they give a description. Penguin is a flightless aquatic bird or chocolate bar sold in packs in the UK. Peddle is a slang term for sell. Pensioner, a person old enough to be getting a pension, slang for old person. Pinching, a slang term for stealing. And pillock, a slang term for idiot. So it's basically an idiot, old person stealing chocolates. It was a particularly pleasant day in the place where we peddle provisions, and I was placing products on the provided places. A male pensioner proceeded to prod my person and provide his peeve of his preferred pleasurable provision of packs of penguins was not provided. After he poodled past, poodle being to move somewhere slowly and with no real purpose, we proceeded to pursue the peculiarities of the pensioner's predicament. There are too many P's in this. Oh my gosh. Our probe into the non-present penguins placed pinching as provided the predicament of penguins' non-presence. We preserved with our probe into the non-present packs of penguins and placed the pillock pensioner pinching the precious penguins. When the pilfering perpetrator next presented his person to purloin packs of penguins, we pursued the pillock and persuaded him to pay for his pinched packs of penguins, or his particulars would be passed to the police for prosecution. Too long, didn't read, or couldn't understand. An old guy complains that we don't have his favorite pack of chocolate bars. On checking stock levels and CCTV as to why they're out of stock, it's because he's stealing them. On his next visit, he's asked to pay for them, or the police will be involved. And then, oh, they're making me work for it today. Alright. So, So this is the last one that was in the top of this week. So after this one, I'm probably going to head off for the day. I know. This was a pretty short one so far. Like, I'm just getting towards an hour, but and this wasn't supposed to be like a really long one anyways. Where's my stuff? Hold on. I lost stuff to the ether that is my Nezuko blanket. Okay. Yeet. Alright, so our last Reddit story for the day is from Phoenix Arise, and the title is Glad I'm Out of Retail. Same. Right now, definitely same. I've been in retail off and on for 8 years. Needless to say, my last day was the 22nd of July, 2022. But that's a story for another time. The two tales that I wanted to talk about was when I was first working at this one store that once had a dog as a mascot back in 2005. The first one was when I was coming into work and I haven't even clocked in yet. I walked by the customer service desk when I hear him. He's the one I talked to. I found out later that it was a lady trying to return an opened DVD and wanted her money back. She claimed that when she called, she talked to me, saying that it was okay to return the DVD even if it was open. I told her that was impossible since I just walked in for my shift. She then got in my face and called me a liar. LP came up and stood between us. It was then I made my exit. I was told later the LP told her to leave or else the police would be called. She left, leaving the DVD behind. Goodness, that one's already annoying. The second one was a couple of months later, actually. A customer came to the register with a small appliance. After the cashier scanned the item, she told the cashier that wasn't right and that it was 70% off. The cashier asked for a customer service to come over and they took her to the customer service area. After explaining what happened, I was called to customer service to do a price check. She told me where she got it from. When I went to that end cap, the sign said up to 70% off, and 2, there were no other items like it. I went over to small appliances and found the item with an empty spot on the shelf. I came back and told customer service what I found. The customer then got angry and yelled that she found it there and it wasn't her fault that you can't do your job putting back stuff that was in the wrong spot, then demanded to get the item 70% off anyway. When the customer service member said no, the customer threw the item at her head where she ducked and it shattered behind her. She then ran out the door as the manager and LP came running because the cashier and I yelled for help. Oh, good God. People are absolutely insane. I just read one of the comments on this post. It says, "That's the person I talked to. I recognize their face from over the phone." Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I read another comment, and it's like, who or what is LP? It's security. It's loss prevention. People are so crazy. Like, got a item thrown at the other person. Oh my goodness. People are really crazy, for sure. What is this? Goodness, it's just disconnecting from chat. Not that I really needed it, but oh well. Well, that's all the stories that come from Tales from Retail this week. Probably later I'll do like a really long one. But for the moment, that's all, folks. I know it hasn't been... I know it's not a super long one today, and I apologize for that. I just haven't been feeling well mentally, and I think it's better to just have kind of a short stream today, where I can kind of just ease myself back into the swing of things, than to just try and stream for 3 to 5 hours. Like, coming right back into it. And I will be off tomorrow as well, so you guys are going to have to wait until Thursday. And I apologize about that as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed coming on this crazy Tales from Retail journey with me. Make sure you hydrate before you dehydrate. Much love. Stay safe. And as always, I'll see you Tato Kits around. Bye bye.